Welcome to Infidelity Love, where love burns, lies unravel, and secrets always come to light. If you crave stories filled with passion, betrayal, heartbreak, and revenge, then you're in the right place. Here, every twist cuts deep, and every episode keeps you begging for more. Subscribe now and dive into the dangerous world where love and deception collide.
There was a young girl named Mavina Rose. She lived in a small, quiet town with her mom, Darcy May. They were poor, but they had love. Every morning, Mavina Rose would braid her mom's hair and say, "One day I will make everything better, Mama." Her mom would smile, even though her face looked tired. Her mom was very sick. She needed a big surgery that cost a lot of money, but they didn't have that money, not even close. Mavina Rose cried at night. She prayed with her small hands and whispered, "Please help me save Mama." One day she met a strange man at the store. His name was Mr. Thornwell. He had shiny shoes, a red car, and a face that always smiled, but the smile never reached his eyes. He heard Mavina Rose asking the pharmacist, "How much is the medicine again?" When she walked out crying, Mr. Thornwell followed her. "Little girl," he said, "I can give you the money." "But it comes with a price." Mavina Rose wiped her tears. "What kind of price?" she asked. He looked at her slowly and said, "You give me something no one else has." She didn't understand at first, but later in her room she began to understand. He wanted her first time, her innocence. She sat on her bed, shaking. "No, no, I can't." But then she heard her mom coughing, crying, weak in the other room. And that night, she made a decision that would change her life forever. She met Mr. Thornwell the next evening at a fancy hotel. Her heart beat so loud she thought the walls could hear it. He gave her the money first, $10,000 in a brown envelope. Her hands trembled. Tears filled her eyes. And just like that, she was no longer the same. But what Mavina Rose didn't know was that someone was watching. From a dark corner of the hotel, a man held a camera. His name was Elric Boone. He had been following Mr. Thornwell for months. He worked for a secret group that helped young girls like her. Elric Boone was not just anyone. He had secrets too. And now, Mavina Rose was part of a bigger secret. The next day, Mavina Rose gave the money to the doctor. Her mom could now have the surgery. She was happy, but not inside. She kept looking in the mirror. She whispered to herself, "I'm still me." Right? But something inside her was broken. Then a message came, a strange letter in a white envelope. "I know what happened at the hotel. Meet me at River Road tonight. Come alone." Her hands shook. Her lips were dry. Who sent the letter? Was it Mr. Thornwell? Was it the police? Was her secret going to destroy everything? She didn't tell anyone. That night, Mavina Rose put on her hoodie and went to River Road. The wind was cold. The street was empty. She saw a man in a long black coat. "Are you the one?" she asked. He nodded. Then he said something she did not expect. "Do you want revenge?" Mavina Rose stood frozen. Her heart was racing and she could feel her palms sweating. Revenge? She had no idea what the man meant. But his eyes, dark and mysterious, made her feel like there was more to her story than she understood. "Revenge for what?" she asked quietly, her voice trembling. The man in the long black coat stepped closer. His face was shadowed, but she could make out a small scar on his cheek, a reminder of a life full of secrets. "You gave him your innocence for money," he said, his voice cold as ice. "But there's more at stake now. You don't even know what you're tangled in. He's using you, but I can help you. I can make things right." Mavina Rose was confused. She thought of her mom in the hospital, still fighting to survive. The surgery had worked, but her mom wasn't getting better fast enough. "Why are you helping me?" she asked. "I've been following Mr. Thornwell for a long time," the man said. "He's dangerous. And he's not just using girls like you. He's blackmailing people in power. You're just a small part of a much bigger game, and he has control over many lives, including your mom's." Mavina Rose felt dizzy. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice shaken. "He's got his hands on many powerful people. If you do nothing, they'll destroy you, and your mother will never be safe. But if you're willing to fight back, you can take him down. You can take back your life. Mavina Rose felt a strange fire burning inside her. She had never thought about revenge before. She had only thought about saving her mom. But this? Was it even possible? Was she ready for what this man was offering her? "You're asking me to make a choice," she whispered, stepping back. "But I don't know how to fight someone like him. I'm just a kid." The man nodded slowly. "I understand, but sometimes you don't have to fight with your fists. Sometimes you fight with your mind. And the truth is your greatest weapon." The man handed her a small piece of paper with an address written on it. "This is where you'll find the evidence. It's your choice, Mavina Rose. You can walk away now and never see me again, or you can choose to fight. But remember, once you choose, there's no turning back." Mavina Rose's mind was spinning. She thought about her mom, still weak in the hospital, the money that had bought her a second chance, and the secret she had just started to uncover. She had no idea what the future held, but one thing was clear. Her life had changed forever. The next morning, after barely sleeping a wink, Mavina Rose gathered her courage and decided to follow the address on the paper. She could hear her mom coughing in the other room, but there was no time to explain. This was bigger than her. When she arrived at the address, it was an old building with broken windows. Inside, everything felt dark and cold. Her footsteps echoed on the cracked floor. She didn't know what she was expecting, but what she found was something she could never have imagined. A small group of people were gathered around a table, talking in hushed voices. One of them looked up when Mavina Rose stepped in. "Who are you?" the man asked, his eyes narrowing. He was tall, with a stern face, but his voice wasn't threatening. It was curious. I came for the truth," Mavina Rose said, her voice trembling but determined. "I want to know what Mr. Thornwell is doing. I need to stop him." The group went silent, exchanging wary glances. Finally, an older woman with silver hair spoke up. "We knew it would come to this," she said softly. "You've just entered a world that most people never see, a world of power, lies, and manipulation. You'll have to be careful. Mr. Thornwell is more dangerous than you can imagine. But you're right about one thing. He's using people like you, and he's been getting away with it for far too long." Mavina Rose's heart was beating faster than ever. The more she learned, the more tangled everything became. It wasn't just about her anymore. There were others like her, trapped in Mr. Thornwell's web, forced to make impossible choices. But she wasn't ready to back down, not when so much was at stake. Mavina Rose stood in the cold, dim room, her eyes darting from one face to another. The silence felt suffocating, as if everyone was waiting for her to say something important. The woman with silver hair looked at her with a gaze that seemed both kind and filled with warning. "You've already made the first step," she said softly. "But there's more you need to understand. You're not just fighting for your mother now. You're fighting for all the others he's hurt, for the families he's destroyed without a second thought." Mavina Rose nodded, trying to absorb the gravity of the situation. She thought about the money Mr. Thornwell had given her, the life-changing moment when she had made the hardest decision of her life. Was that moment worth it? Or was she just one more pawn in a game far too big for her? "Tell me what I need to do," she said, her voice steady despite the turmoil swirling inside her. The older woman smiled faintly and motioned for Mavina Rose to follow her to a back room. The walls were lined with files, folders filled with names, photographs, and evidence. It was clear that these people had been gathering information for years. "This is what we've collected," the woman explained. "It's not just about Mr. Thornwell. He's connected to a much bigger network. This is about power. He's a part of a dangerous system that feeds off people's desperation. You, Mavina Rose, are the key to bringing it all down." Mavina Rose felt a chill run down her spine. She had never thought of herself as anything special, just a girl trying to save her mom. But now she was tangled in a world of secrets and lies, a world that seemed to have no mercy. "Why me?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "I'm just a girl who made a mistake." The woman placed a hand on her shoulder. "No, Mavina Rose, you are the one who saw the truth. You were brave enough to make a choice most people wouldn't have been. That's why you can do this. You have something they don't, the courage to fight back." The words seemed to hang in the air, heavy with meaning. Over the next few days, Mavina Rose couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Every time she left the house, she felt eyes on her. Her phone buzzed constantly with messages from unknown numbers. She had to be careful. The game was much bigger than her now. One evening, after visiting her mother in the hospital, she found an envelope waiting for her at home. It was the same plain white envelope as before, with a single note inside. "Meet me at the old pier tonight, come alone." Her hands trembled as she read the words. It was from the man in the black coat, the one who had first spoken to her. What did he want now? What else did he know? The clock ticked slowly as the sun dipped below the horizon. She knew what she had to do. At the pier, the wind howled as waves crashed against the posts. The place was empty, dark, and eerily quiet. Mavina Rose's footsteps echoed in the silence. She walked to the edge, her heart pounding in her chest. Then she saw him. The man in the long black coat was standing near the water, staring at her, his face unreadable in the dim light. "You came," he said softly, his voice like a whisper in the wind. "What do you want from me?" Mavina Rose demanded, her fear mixing with anger. "What is all of this about?" The man turned to face her fully. "I told you before, Mavina Rose. I'm offering you a way out, a way to take back control, but you have to trust me." Mavina Rose narrowed her eyes. "Why should I trust you? You've been watching me. You know things about me no one else does." "I'm not the enemy," he replied quietly, "but you're not safe. If you don't act soon, everything you fought for will be lost. Thornwell will destroy you, your mother, and anyone else who gets in his way. He has power beyond what you can imagine." Her mind raced. What was this man really offering? Was it a trap? Suddenly, she heard a car pull up in the distance. She turned to see headlights cutting through the fog. A familiar car. It was Mr. Thornwell's. Her heart skipped a beat. Was he following her? Had he known she would be here? The man in the coat smiled, but it wasn't a friendly smile. "It's time to make your move, Mavina Rose. The choice is yours." Mavina Rose's heart raced as the headlights from Mr. Thornwell's car grew brighter, cutting through the mist. She felt the weight of the decision pressing on her. She glanced at the man in the black coat, who was standing still, watching her carefully. "What do you mean, make my move?" she whispered, her voice trembling. "What am I supposed to do?" He stepped closer, his eyes intense. "You have a choice, Mavina Rose. You can either walk away and let him control everything, or you can take a risk and fight back. I'm giving you the information you need to bring him down, but only you can decide if you're ready." The car was almost there now. Mr. Thornwell's face would be in view in seconds. Mavina Rose's mind was a whirlwind of confusion. She didn't want to be in this situation. She didn't want to fight. All she ever wanted was to save her mom. But now it was more than that. It was about her future, her dignity, and maybe even the lives of others who were trapped just like she had been. Without a word, she turned and started walking toward the approaching car. The man in the black coat didn't stop her, but he called out, "Be careful, Mavina Rose. Once you step into this world, there's no turning back. You'll have enemies everywhere." But she didn't look back. She couldn't. The past few days had changed her too much. She had to face what was coming. The car came to a stop, and the door opened. Mr. Thornwell stepped out wearing his usual smile, but there was something colder in his eyes now. His smile didn't reach them. "Mavina Rose," he greeted her smoothly. "I've been looking for you. We need to talk." Mavina Rose stopped a few feet away from him. She wasn't afraid, not anymore. "I'm not here to talk, Mr. Thornwell. I'm here to end this." His eyes narrowed slightly. "End it? My dear, you don't even know what you're dealing with. You think you can just walk away from all of this? It's too late for that." Mavina Rose took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the man's words, but also the strength in her own resolve. "I'm not afraid of you anymore. You can't control me." Mr. Thornwell chuckled, his gaze shifting from amusement to something darker. "You think you're in control? You have no idea what you're up against. You're just a pawn, Mavina Rose. You always have been." He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out something small, an envelope, the same kind of envelope that had been given to her before. "You see," Mr. Thornwell continued, "you weren't the first and you won't be the last, but you are the key to everything. I've been waiting for someone like you. someone who can be easily manipulated, someone who would make the ultimate choice. And now you've made it. Mavina Rose's blood ran cold as she looked at the envelope. What's in it? She asked, though she already had a sinking feeling she knew. You'll see soon enough, he said, his tone colder now. You've been a part of something much bigger than you realize. And the worst part is, you don't even know the whole truth. You've been played, Mavina Rose, and soon you'll understand just how deep this game goes. She took a step back, her mind racing. She had been played, but by who? Was it the man in the black coat? Was he telling the truth about what was going on? She had no idea who she could trust anymore. All she knew was that she couldn't let him control her. I'm done with you, Mr. Thornwell, she said firmly, her voice filled with a determination she didn't even realize she had. You can't scare me anymore. Mr. Thornwell's smile faltered for a moment, but then he regained his composure. We'll see about that, Mavina Rose. You've made your choice, and now, there's no turning back. With that, he turned and got back into the car, slamming the door behind him. The engine roared to life, and the car sped off, leaving Mavina Rose standing there, alone in the darkness. Mavina Rose stood there for a long moment, staring at the empty road where Mr. Thornwell's car had disappeared. The night felt colder now, as if the air itself was warning her. Her heart pounded in her chest, but she felt something else growing inside her, a strange sense of power. She had made her choice. She wasn't going to be a pawn anymore. She wasn't going to be controlled by anyone. The man in the black coat appeared behind her. He had been watching the whole encounter from the shadows. You did well, he said, his voice calm and reassuring. You faced him. That's the first step. Mavina Rose turned to face him. She wanted to ask so many questions, but she knew that now wasn't the time for answers. It was time for action. What happens now? She asked, her voice steady. We keep fighting, he replied. You've made a powerful enemy tonight, but you've also made a powerful ally in yourself. You'll need to stay strong, stay smart, and stay focused. He handed her a small phone. This will help you connect with the right people. They'll help you bring everything to light, but remember, no one can do it alone. You'll need to trust those who want to help you. Mavina Rose looked at the phone, then back at him. I'm not alone anymore, she said softly, feeling the weight of her words. The man nodded and turned to leave, his figure disappearing into the dark. The next morning, Mavina Rose returned to the hospital to see her mother. She sat by her bed, holding her hand, feeling the warmth of her mother's skin beneath her fingers. Her mom looked at her with tired eyes, but smiled, the same smile Mavina Rose had grown up with. Did you sleep, honey? Her mom asked softly. Mavina Rose nodded, but her mind was far from peaceful. She had made a choice, one that would change everything. Mom, everything's going to be okay, she said, her voice filled with conviction. I'll make sure of it. Her mother smiled again, unaware of the fight that was brewing, the dangers that Mavina Rose had just stepped into. But that didn't matter anymore. Mavina Rose would protect her. She would protect herself, and she would make sure Mr. Thornwell couldn't hurt anyone else. Moral lessons of this story. Choices define us. Every choice Mavina Rose made led her closer to who she would become. In the end, it was the courage to choose a path of integrity that helped her find her inner strength. We are always faced with choices, but the ones we make define our future. No one is ever truly alone. Even in our darkest moments, there are always people who want to help, who will stand by us if we let them. It's important to trust those who genuinely care and allow them into our lives. Courage comes from within. True courage isn't about fearlessness. It's about choosing to do what is right, even when it's hard. Mavina Rose had every reason to be afraid, but she faced her fears head-on and found strength she never knew she had. The truth is powerful. No matter how much someone tries to hide the truth, it always has a way of coming to light. Mavina Rose learned that truth is a powerful weapon against manipulation and lies. We must fight for what is right. Sometimes fighting doesn't mean using physical strength. It means standing up for what's right no matter the consequences. Mavina Rose didn't fight with fists. She fought with her heart and mind, choosing to protect those she loved and stand against what was wrong.
Thank you so much for watching. Your support means more than words can say. Every view, every like, every comment brings this channel to life. If this story moved you, shocked you, or kept you guessing, that's just the beginning. Don't forget to subscribe because here at Infidelity Love, the drama never sleeps, and the next twist is always around the corner. See you in the next one.